It's 9 o'clock in the morning. That was a good sleep. I think I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night, so. Alright. Get some breakfast. Pack up my camp. I think I'm going to go show you how I hang my food. It's nothing impressive, but just show you what I do out here. So let's head over there. A little walk back up the spur trail that comes down to this campsite. So. Alright. So I use this microcord, Atwood microcord cord. I just keep it on the spool it came with, and then there's a ton of cordage on there. Plus I use it for hanging my food pack, or food. Alright, up there. Strung back down to this tree over here. And here's my food bag. It's the Osprey Ultralight. It's like a dry sack, I think they're called. Osprey Ultralight dry sack. And it's the 20 liter. And it's a really good size. It's really light and it's really high quality. It's got it's got an extra tab on the bottom. And it's also a squared off bottom. So the pack will sit, or the bag will sit up for you when you're packing it. So really nice purchase. I think it was 20 bucks at REI, and I really like using it. So. Alright, let's go get breakfast. I'm gonna break camp, and then I'll meet you guys back on the trail like I said before. Alright, so we've started our bushwhack toward Brigand Lake in the Weeny Lake PMA. So we're actually in the PMA now, and this is the creek that runs out of Pageant Lake. And I think it connects with like Lucky Finn Creek or something like that. But we're just walking through this high grass. And there's trails in places, I assume, from moose, which makes it super easy to walk. So that's a nice little bonus. And then up here, when I was looking on Google Maps, I think there's a little bit of a rapids or something up here. I think I can even hear a little bit of running water up there. But we came from that way around that corner. We've just been following a trail. So this is really, really, really nice. You might run into a moose too. I'll bring you back if that happens. Well, I hope I don't run into them, but you know what I mean. So here's the trail I've been following. It gets a little wet in places, but you can actually step up on the clumps of grass. And my feet aren't even wet yet, so knock on wood, but oh yeah, I can hear the running water now. That's cool. Let's see if we can get in there. Oh yeah. I could see these rocks on Google Maps, so I knew this opening was here. I'm doing the legwork before I came out here, so I knew this would be one of my landmarks. Really neat. When I said Google Maps, I meant Google Earth. You can zoom in pretty well into this area. I'm going to try to follow this creek up and then punch into the woods a little bit more and try to jump over to Brigand if I can. And if that goes well, I might even go up to Contentment. Alright, we're about halfway to Brigand Lake from where we cut off the Sioux-Hustler Trail. Just kind of making my way through this area. This is kind of the easiest area. Place I could actually drop my pack and do a quick check-in on my maps. So, we're getting there. Making better time than I thought, I think. It gets pretty thick back through here. It's a really cool cliff area back up here. I'm going to use that as one of my landmarks on the way back, but you can see that there's, you know, kind of a little trail coming down that I've been using. There are some deer trails, and it's making it, I wouldn't say easy, but I'm doing it. So probably check back in with you when I get to Brigand Lake. And there's an old campsite on that lake that we'll try to find. If it's nice, we might stay there. We got a lot of options. There's a couple other lakes that we can go try to find, and but it's a nice day today. I don't think it's maybe 75 and not very humid, and the sun's out, but I'm in the brush here, so it's not too bad. So, alright, I'll check back in with you when I get to Brigand, and we'll go from there. This is all Labrador tea in here. It's like a jack pine. I think these are all jack pines. Not all of them, I see white pines, but a lot of these are jack pines. Like a jack pine swamp. But here's my leg down in a hole. Feeling so small. Try to get it out. Oh. Oh. Took me down. The forest is booby trapped. Alright. Oh. Keep on moving. There goes my other. Oh. There's a big glacial erratic. We're making our final push over to Brigand. I think this opening in the trees there is probably the lake, but look at all the red pine in here. This survived the blowdown. I love red pine. Well, here's Brigand Lake. Look at this area. It's awesome. Let's head down here, see what we can find. I feel like we might be pretty close to where the campsite is. We're just following a beaver run down to the lake here. Oh yeah. Oh. I could see that point from Google Earth, and I could see this point from Google Earth. My maps tell me that the campsite's right up here, so we'll go check it out. Alright, we're still on Brigand Lake. It's getting toward dinner. I'm going to start a fire. And here's an old down red pine. And I knocked out this old branch off of it. And I should be able to get a bunch of fat wood right out of there. You can hear how dense it is. So I'm going to whittle this down and see what I come up with. I'll check back in with you. This is barely 3 cuts into it, but you can see all this kind of ribbony, kind of a lighter or darker wood here. This is all fat wood. It has almost like a plasticky sound when you knock it. Doesn't sound like wood. And it definitely is much denser, but so this will be the fat wood we use for tonight's fire. All right, we'll get our fire going. Got my ferro rod and striker. Got my mora and a dry piece of wood, and then my fat wood. You can see I carved it way down. This looks like a really good piece, so we'll just scrape off a bunch of this. And then in this area I haven't seen any birch trees, so having this skill is good for a pine forest, obviously, where there's no birch. Let's see, how are we going to do this? Maybe this way? Hold on a sec, let me trim this down. There we go. So that's a pretty good hunk of fat wood. I carved off a couple little pieces that'll help it stay going, and then I got a bunch of dry wood down here. So and I'm going to transfer it down into this fire pit. So that one strike, no problem. Just got the fire going with my ferro rod and my fat wood. One strike, no problem. Alright, we'll get a fire going here. Gonna have some beef stroganoff with noodles for dinner tonight. And look what I found on the bottom of this thing. Little nugget of wisdom from Mr. Roosevelt. He prefers I call him Teddy. It says, nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, difficulty. Theodore Roosevelt. Agreed. So this is my entire cook kit. And you can see I have a cozy on the around the whole thing, and I put a sewed in a little strap, bungee strap, to hold it all together. Otherwise the top comes off like that. So just put a little bungee on the top to keep things from rattling around and to have something to clean up after dinner. I have a couple of paper towels. Let's see what else is in here. Ooh, secondary source of fire. A pot grabber. So this is just Reflectix, and grab the hot handle of the pot. And the old Fancy Feast. And then I have a cup in here. Let's see if I can get it out one-handed. Oh yeah. Alright, so I have a cup in a cozy. This is the one of the Toaks cups. I think it's the 450 Toaks cup. And then here's the 750 Toaks pot. And then my Sea to Summit aluminum long spoon. And that's all there is to it, other than my fuel, which is over there. Now I have to get back up. Life is so difficult. Is it worth doing, Teddy? Will there be pain involved? Difficulty? Got a little friend out here with me. Hey, Beaver! He just gave me a tail slap to let me know he was there. I think he's trying to figure me out. He's just making circles out there. Where'd he go? There he is. That's Nahimana Lake, kind of northeast of Brigand. And we got to get around this to get to the campsite, which is kind of over in this area. Been walking on some of this, which is easy going. In between these ridges though, it's dense down there. You can see it's a pretty good bog down there too. So I don't know, might not be able to get over there, but we'll see what happens. So here's Nahimana Lake proper. That area I was just showing you is more of a puddle off of the lake. You can see a creek that runs through it, goes around that way, and then that backwater is back that way. So if my maps are right, the campsite's right on that little point right here. So what I need to do is skirt a little bit more around the side here, and I know from Google Earth that there's a way to cross this bog back in here. You can see where the water runs on rocks, so I'm gonna try to make my way over there. I don't think I could get down here, but I think it would be wet. Well, I do see a trail down there though. Actually might head down there. Looks like there's a pretty good moose trail right here, so hey. Alright, check back with you in a few minutes here. Well, I think I'm going to do a mission abort here. This area just gets extremely cliffy on both sides. As you can see across the area I thought I could cross down there is pretty well dammed up, and it doesn't look passable from where I'm standing. So the campsite would be right back over here. So I'd have to go all the way down here, cross somehow, get up on that cliff, and skirt that woods across here. And it looks really dense in there. So I would say we're about right where the 3 is. On the map there. You can see the campsites right there. So, mission abort. Let's head back.